YouTube, Jibanyan should be here with a review of the Yokai Watch Converting Figures Wave 1, featuring a figure of Jibanyan that transforms into Baddinyan, and a converting figure of Komasan that transforms into Businessman Komasan. It's a little bit less thrilling than the Baddinyan one, but anyway, it's Komasan, so I love it. But these are $14.99 at my local Toys R Us and should be hitting other stores relatively soon, early in 2016. But for now, head on over to your local Toys R Us. See if they have these. Like I said, they are $14.99 a piece, which hopefully is not too bad for these. I've yet to open them, as you can see. So we shall see how good these actually are. Each one does include the figure, some accessories, and a yokai medal, both of which do not say exclusive, so they are probably available in the blind packs as well. I did pick up some of those finally, so we shall see. But let's go ahead and get these open and take a look. Alright, so real quick before we begin, I just want to take a quick look at the yokai medals included with these figures. Like I said, the packaging does not list them as exclusive, but having opened the mystery blind bags I bought, it shows a checklist, and these aren't on it. So I don't know if they might be in a Series 2 blind bag or what's going on, but they aren't labeled exclusive, but as of right now, I have no idea what other ways to get a hold of these designs. But here is the Jibanyan. Right there, he is just lounging around, so you kind of know that this one is going to be the same as the other Jibanyans that we have gotten, besides the New York Comic Con one that just say the I'm busy right now. And here is the Komasan medal, which is actually really adorable. Businessman Komasan hanging out right there, and unfortunately he has no other new phrase as well. It is the same as the Oh My Swirls, but let's go ahead and check these out in the Yokai Watch anyway.
Komasan! Oh, my feelings! Komasan!
I think about the only downside is that with Komasan and Jibanyan getting so much material, either you hear the charming noise a lot. Alright, so here is transforming, or converting as they call him on the packaging, Jibanyan. Now he stands roughly about 5 inches tall. Just for scale from ear to toe, he's pretty much exactly the size of a 12-ounce soda can. So he's pretty interesting. I think if you want a more full-fledged figure to hunt down the Japanese Chogokin Jibanyan, which I will actually be taking a look at on my channel at some point. I ordered one off of HLJ's sale. But yeah, it's a nice little figure. It's got hinges on the side of his face and stuff, obviously, but right on display, he's a nice big rendition of Jibanyan. And from a distance, it's hard to tell those little transforming qualities. Now, obviously, from the back, you got a whole lot of nonsense going on. You got colored limbs and this weird purple thing in his head and the hollowed outness of the tails and stuff like that. So from the back, it is most certainly not a good figure. But from the front, other than the hinges and the little crack in his head right here, he looks pretty good, pretty well, sure, whatever. So, pretty neat. Transformation for this guy is actually pretty simple, not as simple as Komasan. Komasan is the ultimate simple. But what you're going to do is you just kind of split his head open, which is probably the hardest part. Actually, it's not hard if you do it right. And it's kind of gross, but just trust me on this, it's okay. Take that and fold that around so it's about right to there. And then same with the other side. Kind of unpeg all that, flip that around, and that will just kind of tuck in right there. It doesn't reconnect or anything like that, at least from what I can tell. It just doesn't line up like that. So you just kind of smush it in there, so it's all nice and hidden. Bring this around the front. The purple thing will lift up. I kind of covered it up a little bit. And that will ratchet upward to form the pompadour on Baddinyan. And then you switch his little arms around so that they are blue, because Baddinyan has blue fur. You have purple fur? Oh, well, whatever. Oh, no, he's wearing clothes, I think. And so fold that back down, and this will fully bring up just like that. And you're almost done. Kind of squish that a little bit more. He doesn't include little sunglasses. Unfortunately, the little sunglasses don't store anywhere, at least that I can tell, on Jibanyan and Jibanyan mode. Komasan has an accessory that actually stores. This one doesn't, so that's a little bit of a bummer in my book, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Those just peg right in, and now, if he just falls forward all the time, now you have Baddinyan. Gonna reconfigure your jacket. Your jacket's falling off, Baddinyan. What are you doing? So not too bad, but not particularly great either. It bums me out a little bit because I think Baddinyan is actually a really cool design. So I was looking forward to having a figure, especially one that transformed. But just the way that they had to engineer everything in this, it just doesn't really work for me a whole lot. He does have head articulation, which is nice. So he can look forward and back as long as that permits. So obviously he's going to get caught at some point. And like from the front here, like the ears stick out over here. The hinges are a lot more noticeable against the purple head. It's just got a lot of negatives going for it from the transforming gimmick itself. I think kids might actually get a dig out of it because kids, I think, are a lot less critical of how something looks when it's a transforming toy than collectors like me are. So it's definitely a fun transformation, I think, and I think the end result is kind of cool. But I think maybe at a little bit higher of a price point, they could have perfected a little bit of a better transforming gimmick, especially considering that this is Hasbro making these, and they are the Transformers creators. So yeah, there's that. Transformation back again is very, very simple. Getting the shirt back in, you have to kind of accordion it, I think that's right. Just right, and then flip all these back around, and you're back to Jibanyan. Like I said, the sunglasses really have no place to store. It'd be nice if they could have just like pegged in right here onto the pompadour or something like that. I tried pegging them into the tail pieces, and that ultimately didn't work either. So yeah, there's no real way to store these sunglasses, which is just a little bit of a bummer. He can't even wear the sunglasses as Jibanyan, so like I said, just a little bit of a bummer. But moving along to Komasan, I really like him. He's a very, 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 very simple figure, for sure, but as a fan of Komasan, I like having just this little Komasan figure sitting on my desk with me. I think it's kind of neat. He doesn't particularly do a whole lot. His head does swivel. So you got that going for him. Obviously his backpack is connected to his head, or his knapsack or whatever is connected to his head, so it kind of has to turn with him. But other than that, you can kind of get a little bit of a turny head pose my cat really wants in the room. But yeah, so from the back you can kind of see the businessman pants, which is a little bit of a bother, but I can't really think of any other way to have engineered this figure. But everything is kind of hidden by his little knapsack there, so not too bad at all. Now he does have this little eye gimmick that when you fold these over, he gets like these little sparkly eyes, and that's actually part of the transformation. Flip that around, and you have Businessman Komasan. And the Businessman supposedly has these little starry eyes going for him, as well as this little ice cream cone with Whisper's face on it. Because that's not strange, but it fits in with Komasan's natural desire for ice cream and or Whisper's head fluff thing. So that will just peg right into his hand. Again, he has no actual arm articulation, so it's engineered so that it kind of looks like he's holding it upright. So there's that. So this is the Businessman Komasan mode. At the time of this recording, I'm not sure if this was in the show yet. I don't remember it, but I don't remember every little segment from the show so far. So I apologize if I'm wrong on that, but it's a neat little feature, I suppose, and I like having a additional Komasan figure, of course, to add to my collection. Plus, I just like the little Whisper ice cream, even when he's in Komasan mode. So if you wanted to, you can flip that around, and you can be Business Komasan with a normal, natural face. So you can do that, as well as the ability to flip it around, and he can still have the little Whisper ice cream in normal Komasan mode. And you can have the starry eyes in Komasan mode, whatever you really want to do. You can do with this guy. But unlike the glasses with Jibanyan, Komasan's little Whisper ice cream can plug right into the knapsack and go ahead and be stored. So I most definitely appreciate that. The only thing I don't really like is the way the horns are, since like his natural upright horn is just kind of this really strange eye position. And so you're either splayed outwards and he's like mesmerized, or they're kind of inward and he has the normal eyeballs. So it's a very, very minor complaint. But I think overall Komasan actually works the best out of these. But Jibanyan is probably the most fun, because there's a lot more to do with Jibanyan's transformation. Komasan is literally just flipping around and splaying his horns open. So there's not a whole lot to Komasan, but Jibanyan is actually a pretty fun transformation, albeit one that ends up with a little bit uglier of a result. No offense to Baddinyan, but the figure is just a little bit clunky. Now, both of these are unfortunately quite hollow looking. When you compare these to like a $14.99 deluxe class transformer, you can definitely tell that these were geared more towards kids, even probably younger kids than the RID Transformers line. So I don't feel like $14.99 was a completely fair price for these. Komasan in general is very hollow. Jibanyan's got a little bit more to him, but even him feels a little bit hollow too. So I think they're a little bit overpriced, even though you do get a medal. So if you can get these on sale, I would recommend picking them up. But at the $14.99 price point, I'm just not 100% sold on these. If you're a huge fan of either creature, they make decent display pieces in their respectful modes. But if you don't think you're going to get a whole lot of fun out of these, then I would just leave them on the shelf. If you really want the medals, right now I think they're the only way to get the medals. Like I said, they're not exclusive, but I have no idea how to get them otherwise, so we shall see what happens in further blind bags, I suppose. So that about does it for this review. If you like it, go ahead and blast that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more. So as always, thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.